Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of network model, TCP, IP and OSI. You have probably heard these terms floating around, but what do they actually mean and how do they stack up against each other? We will break down their similarities and differences in a way that is easy to understand. First, look at the agenda of today's video. So let's start from the recapping TCP, IP and OSI model. Before jumping into the comparison, let's quickly define what these models are. Think of them as a blueprint or framework that describe how data communication should occur across the network. They break down the complex process into manageable layers, each with specific function. This standardization helps network hardware and software communicate effectively. As we know that OSI model is a conceptual framework used to understand how networks operate, whereas the TCP IP model is a practical implementation that forms the basis of Internet. So let's move on to look into the similarities between these two models. The major similarities between TCP IP protocol stack and OSI model are highlighted in this segment of video. Both models share similar architecture as both of the models are constructed from the layers. Both models organize the network communication into series of distinct layers. Each layer performs specific function and interacts with other layers above and below it. This layered approach simplifies the complexity of the network communication. The second similarity is that the application layer transport layers are shared by both models. Every layer performs exactly the same function in both types of models. Similarly, both models utilize protocol stack, where each layer implements specific protocols that define the rule for communication at that level. Data travel down the stack on the sending device and up the stack on the receiving device. The third similarity is about packet switching, which is done in both models, where packet is transmitted from sender to the receiver across the different paths or route. Finally, for all people handling the network such as network administrators, professionals, and network developers, it is necessary to have a great knowledge about the structure and function of every layer separated and combined in the network. After discussing the similarities, now let's understand the differences between these two models. There are many differences between OSI and TCP model, but their core purpose is the same. Here are the key differences between these two models. So first, let's understand about their nomenclature. OSI stands for Open System Interconnection, while the name of TCP IP is made of two protocols, such as Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. The second difference is based on number of layers. The OSI model has 7 layers, while the TCP IP model has 4 layers. The layers of OSI model are physical, data link, network, transport, session presentation, and application. The layers of TCP IP model are network access layer, internet layer, transport, and application layer. Third difference is based on the structure of layer. The OSI model's 3 upper layers, such as application, presentation, and session, are combined into single application layer in the TCP IP model. Similarly, the OSI model's bottom 2 layers, such as physical and data link, are combined into network access layer in the TCP IP model. Both models have separate transport and internet or network layer. Another difference is based on the complexity. The OSI model is more complex due to its 7-layer structure. It is more theoretical model designed to describe all the aspects of network communication in great detail. The TCP IP model is less complex and more practical because it was developed to solve the real-world communication problem and focuses on the protocols that are actually used on the internet. Another difference is based on the focus of the model. The OSI model is a conceptual reference model that defines what network communication should be. It is independent of any specific protocol, while the TCP IP model is a protocol-oriented implementation that defines how network communication is done using specific protocols like TCP and IP. OSI models were developed as a teaching reference model, while the TCP IP model was designed based on the real-world networking and became the foundation of the internet. And finally, we came to discuss the differences based on development. The TCP IP model was developed first in the 1970s as the part of the ARPANET project. The development of TCP IP is primarily credited to the two individuals, Walter Thorpe and Robert Kane. The OSI model was introduced later, in the early 1980s, by the International Organization for Standardization, which is also called ISO. Finally, the question may arise that which one is better. It depends upon the situation. For example, if you talk about the real-world application, then TCP IP is the winner. But if you talk about the academic or teaching, then you have nothing better than OSI model. The network professional first learn OSI model and then they practice on the TCP IP model. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more networking tutorial. And tell me in the comment which model do you prefer and why. Thanks for watching this video.